Hi everyone! Don't hear the internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time for a review of the brand new OC's album, Orc. This is the latest full-length LP from Garage Psych Punk Psych Garage Punk Psych Punk Psych Garage Punk Psych Punk band, the OCs. Or no, on this record they're just OCs. But yes, OCs keeping it ever prolific here with another record, quickly following up a pretty nice album and EP release that they dropped in 2016. If you remember, the band's last album, A Weird Exits, was actually really good in my opinion. Easily one of the band's best albums in a long time. I thought the production quality on this LP was a lot better than some of the band's past work, and also a lot of these cuts were based on these very tight, energetic, quirky instrumental jams. Some of the best performances I think the OCs have laid to tape. Now, In Odd Entrances I thought was a kind of mild follow-up EP, not quite as exciting, not quite as full throttle, but definitely as strange. And this new album over here, Orc, while it doesn't seem like directly connected to A Weird Exits, it doesn't feel like a sister album or anything like that, still the album is very much in the same spirit, delivering tons of weird, winding instrumental jams that kind of send a shock to the system. The song The Static God that kicks the entire record off has an amazing driving drum beat, sinister vocals that sound like they're being delivered by like a, I don't know, like an orc, the very same like weird creature depicted on the front cover of this thing, or like maybe an annoying bridge troll that asks you to like, you know, answer riddles before you cross the river. There's this amazing wailing wall of layered guitars that not only starts the song off, but sort of guides the track through one jam passage after another. I mean, the band is already topping the points of intensity on their last full length at just the start of the album. It's a good sign. Also, I kind of like the blissful epic keyboard bridge in the latter half of this track too. Shows that the band is getting like a little bit more dynamic and versatile as they go in this direction. NITE EXPO is a much shorter track that is a lot more aggressive, roaring guitars all over this thing. Some kind of weird, funky, strange keyboard leads that kind of kick the song off. Some of the synth leads get kind of squelchy, like they're doing some, I don't know, weird analog synth experimentation, like some knob turning. The song Animated Violence takes things into a heavy psych direction. The riffs get really loud, really drony, really fuzzy. These riffs trade off with some pretty cool lead guitar passages. The vocals are like really deep and monstrous. The band works in like a really strange, chilly organ bridge, and they bring the jam down to a nice simmer right before they go full throttle right at the finish of the song. The song Keys to the Castle has one of the most sharp turns on the entire record. It has this really dense, aggressive 2-minute performance right at the start of the track, and then all of a sudden it breaks off into this like serene, folky, I don't know, instrumental passage that like lasts the remaining 6 minutes of the song with kind of these droning, fluttering violins, very nice, relaxing, gentle piano keys. It's like being cast out into a barren desert suddenly in the middle of the album, but in the best way possible. The song Jettisoned features these creepy, whispered lead vocals that are oddly sensual, drenched in echo, and pair very well with the improvised drum breaks. The song also features tons of these like trebly, sunburned, distorted hard rock riffs. And the song Paranoise brings the intensity of the album way down to a minimum. This is like the most abstract the album gets. Much of the song is kind of dominated by these weird, noisy, hissing sounds, and a steady drum beat, weird guitar improvs, and sound effects kind of orbit around this beat and this hissing noise. It like really reminds me of like some early Noi or Can. It's really intriguing. There's not a whole lot of variation to it. It does have an explosive finish though. I will say I don't think the band draws this experimentation out too long. It's just long enough to serve as a decent, strange, satisfying interlude. You know, overall I was really impressed with this album, really excited by this album. I think it's a vast improvement on their last record. Granted, there was a song or two that I thought was maybe a little bit too long, like Keys to the Castle, or the song NITE EXPO I think had a little bit more potential to it than the band fully realized. The song Cooling Tower, I mean, I do like a lot of the characteristics of this song. I kind of like the quirky background vocals, the funky bass and drum groove, the humming keyboards on this thing, but it doesn't really assemble into an exciting performance or song in the track list. It just kind of feels like an overextended motif. And raw optics as a closer, it does have a decent ending at the very finish of the song, and it kicks off pretty well, even though, I mean, if the start were merely an instrumental that was deeper in the track list here, I wouldn't have found it to maybe be the most distinct in the bunch, the most memorable in the bunch. But what really kind of separates the song out is that there is this long solo drum part, like right in the middle of the track, that's actually pretty fun. I wish more bands did stuff like this, especially since the drumming is pretty groovy, it's pretty cool, it's very entertaining to listen to. I'm not saying it's like the most muscular, flashy drumming on the planet, but it did make for a nice change of pace. And for better or for worse, does make raw optics a unique point in the track list. So I don't know, I mean, it's not a perfect record, but the OCs continue to experiment and improve upon what they've been doing as of late. And the band sounds so cohesive and together as they kind of embark on this variety of instrumental bits that, I don't know, it just kind of sounds like they're just a really well-oiled machine. I'm feeling a strong 8 to a light 9 on this thing. Transition. Have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best. You're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe, and please don't cry. Just leave an angry comment in the comments if you're angry. Click on the, I don't know, another OC's review next to my head, please. Or you can click on the link to subscribe to the channel. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Forever.